Well, I thought what we've done earlier in the year that we're not doing right now is emotionally and physically fighting through hard times in a game. I thought over and over, and we talked about, we had resiliency fighting through some of these games, early games, and I think these last two, especially these last two, and I'm not talking about fighting through number 60 in the country, the number one and the previous number one, but when things have gotten hard emotionally as much as physically, they were knocking down shots. I think they made their first 5. And I don't think emotionally we handled that. We were really ramped up to play, and we could never string some baskets together. We couldn't go on. We've gone in runs in this building and we've gotten the energy in this building going. We could never get any energy going from, and we could never cause that because we just couldn't get a string of made shots. We know they're elite defensively, they are. But I thought we had some looks. I thought we had some looks, some layups, and we just couldn't string any kind of run together the whole night. I don't know if we ever made 3 in a row. It just seemed like we'd make one and then we'd think that we'd miss a layup or we'd miss a good shot. But I don't think the last 2 games, and again, I'm talking about the best of the best teams in the country. We haven't fought emotionally and resiliency when it got hard in that game.
You mentioned some of the, yesterday you mentioned kind of the mental fatigue and that being the important thing. Is that just kind of where you guys need to improve? You kind of mentioned battling through the highs.
Yeah, I think mental toughness is you come out, you're ready to play. And, they hit some shots. I mean, they made some shots. They got the thing. They got an offensive rebound dunk. And we missed a wide open layup. Is to fight through that. All right, it's early. And I think we're not emotionally together fighting through that, the hard parts of the game right now. And we're playing elite teams with that. But with that said, I just think that we just absolutely could not string some possessions offensively together. I thought the second half we showed more fight. They had 25 points. We forced 19 turnovers. But we got into, and it's happened 2 games in a row, that, some things didn't go our way, and then we couldn't string it together, and then the lead just ballooned. And when that lead ballooned, you're trying to fight back, a 20-point deficit. We cut it to 15 to start the second half, and then they got it back up to 24. Absolutely disappointed in fighting through Tennessee's runs and their physicality.
Porter, what was the process here throughout the course of this week? How do you feel after 48 minutes?
So we took the day after, our mandatory day off was the day after, came the Thursday, and he got treatment. It was his thigh. Didn't go Thursday, didn't go Friday, did some shooting, was stretching. We really, truly didn't know until this morning because it was an early game. So we went through the process of getting loose. He said he felt so much better, wanted to go. So that was our game time decision. But we truly, if it's a later game, you have a shoot-around, you can see how he did in the shoot-around. But all we could go by was that. But he hadn't had any reps the last 2 days, but I thought he gutted it out and really tried to be there for his teammates to play today in this big game.
Porter, do you feel like it's more of a mental adjustment, a physical adjustment, or some kind of adjustment you have to do with your offense to get it going again?
It's both. It's both. And again, I'm going to talk about Tennessee and Auburn. The last 2 defenses are, before that A&M. So we're playing some of the best defenses in the country. But I still feel there were times, and I'm going to go watch the tape, that there were shots that we had, and that I think our turnovers turned it into baskets. I can think of 3 right now that, one on the side out of bounds play that you're spotting them points. Those are unacceptable turnovers. There's turnovers out of commission. But, we've got to be able to, they're really, really physical. They take you out of it. But we couldn't string some rolls. We got to get transition going. We couldn't get transition in the first half because they were shooting at such a high percentage. We weren't getting stops.
You've been coaching a long time. You got coach over, man. How you got it out?
Yeah. We're still in a position to be in position. And that's what we have to. But you have to have some urgency, and we've got to collectively come back to where we were. I thought this team was really resilient. I was talking to you after a number of close games that we won, whether it was Providence, Arizona, Michigan, Louisville, just over and over. We were down at halftime against Georgia Tech. South Carolina, we were down, Arkansas. We've had a lot of games where I've talked about resiliency, fighting through hard. Again, the competition does that to you, but you still have to fight through the hard parts of these games. We're in a position to be in position, all right? And that's the thing. It takes one game to turn it. And one game that you win with our schedule can just throw a dart up there on an unbelievable resume win. But it's not going to happen if we don't collectively come back together and have this resiliency to fight through the tough parts of a game.
When the team's that much bigger than you and athletic as they are, what are the things that have to happen for you to have a chance to win?
Yeah, we have seen that the length and athleticism difference, but we've had it. We've won against it. You just got to be, extremely tough. You got to tough. It's the fight that you have, and I know they're one of the best screening teams. They're just throwing screens and screens and screens. But you still got to fight. We need depth. We need depth. We didn't have enough. I don't think enough guys that are capable brought everything they had today, and you need multiple depth to play against that size and athletic differential, and but you can beat teams that are bigger, strong, and athletic. I know, and it's hard, but there's got to be a fight through the hard parts. It just can't be fighting when things are going your well and getting on a run, because we never got on a huge run today. We never really had one of those 8-0 runs that we've had, and there's a definite size difference and length. I get it, but we've beaten teams with that difference, and we continue to will be. No, I was trying to keep us fresh. And not knowing with Jeremiah, I probably I got him a quick breather, I think before the first media, I think I did, just to see, with him, and I was just trying to stay fresh, because running through all those screens is taxing. They deny every catch. You got to work to get every catch. That I said it before. One of their strengths is they try to wear you down on offense by screening and not moving, and then defensively how physical they are. So I was just trying to just stay fresh, and with having some guys come in there and bring it.
Yeah, that was tough, but I think when it gets tough, I think we can fight through adversity a little bit more. They're a good team, so we can't spot them 20 points at halftime. I think when halftime came, we started moving a little bit better, and I think our offense was a little bit stagnant in the beginning. I don't think it was our set. I think it was just like we got to keep it moving, keep bodies moving, and they're a good defensive team. So if we just let them sit in gaps, it's going to be tough to score.
Carson, Porter talks about continuing to stack wins. You guys have so much opportunity still ahead. How tough, or how do you guys kind of keep mentally positive throughout two tough losses?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We got to stay positive and just look forward to the next game. We got a lot of big opportunities. That's it.
As an older guy who's played a lot of ball, do you do anything different, say anything different to kind of maybe change the pace a little bit, kind of help the younger guys out, or the guys that are less experienced?
Yeah, I think everyone's trying to do the right things and be aggressive, but sometimes the right thing might be one less dribble and a kick and then keep it moving rather than just the ball sticking a little bit too much. But I think we can do it. We have the guys to do it. I think everyone's trying to do the right thing. I don't think it's out of selfishness at all.
One thing this league has a lot of size up front, big guys, and every team in athletics as well. What's the best way? How you guys dealing with that? And the size difference in athletics?
That's why we got to try to hit first, especially on the defensive glass. And then I think that'll open up our offense a little bit more if we can fight and get those defensive rebounds so we can run and get guys like Jeremiah and Jalen in transition.
Right, so what's it like playing a game like this where it just offensively you can't get anything going, and defensively it seemed like Tennessee just couldn't miss. Just what were the emotions like when you just kind of get stuck in a game like that?
Yeah, we just got to fight for good possessions at that point and just try to get the best shot we can get. That's all it is, really, just trying to get good shots rather than taking tough twos or contested ones.